SA20 has become a symbol of summer in South Africa with sold-out matches at St. George's Park, at the Kingsmead Park Stadium, as well as the Boland Park Stadium, setting the atmosphere for the season. So even the Highveld rains could not dampen the spirits of supporters at the Wanderers Stadium, as well as the SuperSport Stadium in Centurion. So the opening week has produced memorable highlights showcasing just young South Africans, with overseas internationals also delivering high-quality performances. To help us look back on the first week of the SA20, we are joined in studio by South African cricketing legend, as well as the ambassador of the SA20 competition, Makhaya Ntini. Makhaya, good morning, and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me. I'm going
to try. My cough is limited. You're getting grayer by the day. How's life?
I'm loving it. You know, I think it's more of a wisdom than aging.
Yeah.
Don't look at the head. You know, they say that don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
All right, fabulous. Let's talk about the first week of the SA20, Makhaya. You are the ambassador of this competition. What have you made, though, of the rainy conditions in Johannesburg? And, of course, the action that we've seen on the field as well.
Madam, to be honest with you, this has been one of the, when they use it, the alhamdulillah. Yeah. It's been great. Yeah. It's been wonderful. I've been absolutely so overwhelmed and thrilled, you know, with the atmosphere. Mm. If you look at the game itself, talking about the reigning Wanderers, people stay. They want to watch the game. They want to see the youngsters because they've got their heroes there. Yeah. That's one thing that you should know. You know, seeing now all of a sudden the tournament is not about the old people, the likes of the Rabadas, the Ngidis, the Quentin Ticocks. You're seeing the youngsters coming through. You know, you've got the likes of Borgite. Yeah. Pretorius, the young fellows, they're putting their hands up. One of the greatest things as well, you see the overseas players, the likes of Root. We called him that the tree cannot be standing without roots. You know, his first time to come and play the game in South Africa. Yeah. You've got the guy from, we call DK, you know, from India. He's the first guy to actually come and play the 2020 in South Africa, and then he's loving it. Yeah. You know, those guys that have the experience and then they're showing the showcase to the kids, you know, the 18-year-old Dema Parkers. Wow. It has been one of the greatest tournaments. I will say that even they say, you know, it's the next IPL, you know, from all the tournaments that we've been watching on the television around the world.
That's a bold statement that you make, that people are saying, you know, the SA20 might be the next IPL, because the reality, of course, is that there have been so many T20 franchises, competitions happening around the world, the IPL being one of them. There's also the Big Bash League out in Australia, the Pakistan Super League as well.
Caribbean one as well?
The Caribbean as well. Do you see the SA20, though, as, looking back at the past two seasons, season 1 and 2 and going into season 3, is it now an established product? Is it something that South Africa can be proud of? And do you see great potential going into the future?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. You know, when we looked at it in the beginning, and then we thought as well that it's what we call it a money-making scheme. Yeah. But now in the third division, and then you look at it as almost it's growing the kids. You know, it's almost like when you look at India. India started with us. I was part of that one. But now look at how the Indian players, they actually grown in the same tournament. We've got the youngsters, the like of Jaishwal. They are taking the names of Virat Kohli's aside, you know, of the big games. You know, they're taking ownership. It's the same thing that we're seeing in South Africa. You've got the likes of Stubbs. They were found in the same tournament. Now Brevis, they call it the young AB. They were found in the same tournament. Now you look at the young Mapakas and the Pretorias and the Borgites. Now we are seeing the young players, they're coming through the same tournament, whereby you thought, okay, this tournament is going to be seen as a money-making, if I say that in the first beginning. But now it's showing the sign of they want to grow cricket in our country.
Yeah, absolutely great, because, you know, essentially when the SA20 was developed, it was to give youngsters that opportunity, unknown players the opportunity, right, to play with some of the greatest players in the world. What matches have stood out for you, though? Are you surprised about how things are going for the defending champions? To give surprises.
And that's home, eh? You don't say that about my home team. Oh, wow, I know. But if you look at it, how they actually won those the first two tournaments, they started exactly the same way that they started with this tournament.
But it's unprecedented this year. They've lost 3 matches in a row.
I know.
They won on Friday. So
At
it's
least
not the same.
It could be the beginning. It could be the beginning.
Okay.
We were worried. I don't want to lie to you. We were worried as well that if they had to lose on Friday, it could have been game over for them. But now they started, to come back. So I would say that the game yesterday, 2 games, they all, when you're talking about all the way to the wire, it was chasing more than 200 runs. It was, epic.
Yeah.
Centurion, nobody left the stadium.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it happens in Cape Town. Nobody left the stadium. You look at the Ringleton, he was unstoppable. You look at Root as well in the first game, he was unstoppable. So you look at those guys that they really, really, when they get an opportunity, they put their hand up. They don't leave it, to the second person. For me, those 2 games, they really, really show, what kind of a tournament that everybody should be excited of.
Yeah. One of the things that Aiden Markram spoke about, I think it was maybe their 2nd loss or their 3rd loss, was that there's just so many matches. They're playing back-to-back matches. So they play today, there's a rest day, and then they play another game, and there's a lot of traveling in between. Would you anticipate a lot of tired bodies, maybe in that Eastern Cape Sunrisers team, or maybe just in other teams that are playing in this competition, because it's back-to-back matches consistently, and the traveling also takes a toll?
No, you just want to take the whole losing stream out of his shoulders.
Okay.
But if you go to India, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
They're playing almost more than 50 games. Look at that. We're only playing 34. So what is the problem? Is it only an hour wherever that you are going? So for me, I don't see that as an issue.
Yeah.
And then I don't see that as a problem. If you have players, almost about 18 of them within the same team. Yeah. So then you can change if you feel like you're not sorry, you are not up for the day. Yeah. So you stand up and say, sorry guys, can I sit out on this game? You give someone else a chance. So I for one, I don't see that as one of the problems that it could have. How will you structure the games? You've got only how many six teams within the same tournament.
As we wrap up, Makhaya, just tell us exactly where people can watch the SA20 competition. You are the brand ambassador, you also commentate as well. Just talk to us in the next 30 seconds as you wrap up, exactly where can these matches be watched?
I would say that, we have the broadcast we call the Supersport. Yeah. Everyone can watch in the Supersport. But the good thing about that as well, there's a streaming. We have 7 games that you can actually watch. The first innings, you can watch it. You go to 243 in your television. Then you are able to see all the first innings game. And then the second inning one, then you have to go and buy the DStv, the big one, not the small one, so that you can watch all of the games. And then I think as well, streaming is one of the things that it came up now with Supersports, that everybody can go and download the stream. Yeah. Then you can be able to watch the full game.
All right, Makhaya Ntini, thank you so much for your time this morning on the Weekend Report. Enjoy the commentary, enjoy the games.
Yeah, we are on option 3. Yeah?
Who's winning?
Option 3.
So who's winning the competition?
I think my Cape Town are standing a good chance, but I say that be careful of Par Royals.
All right.
They're having a good team.
All right, my Cape Town, of course, having won yesterday against the Joburg Super Kings out at Newland Stadium. Top of the table are the My Cape Town side in this SA competition. Makhaya, thank you so much for your time.